That's it? Bro, what the fuck? How is this... What? What is this censor? I'm sure the rest of Evelynn got heavily censored. Oh yeah, look at the difference of clothing there. Go to the silver one. I know the silver one. The silver one's actually fucking excellent. I'm gonna come out swinging with possibly a hot take here. This is more attractive. This... This is attractive. Being safe on the job is incredibly attractive, I gotta tell you. Censored Thresh's face is awesome. I love this design. I think it's a great way to get around the censorship issues. They also... Wait. They shrugged. Wait. This is the only time I'm gonna say this, but look at Senna's cleavage. They fucking shrunk her cleavage. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. Alright, I think that's a good note to kick off the patch notes, yeah? Alright. Show me patch notes. For Legends of Runeterra. Alright. Closing everything down. Card updates, champion and related cards, personalization, seasonal tournament awards, ooh, miscellaneous and bug fixes. All right, well, let's get into it. Here's a look at all the card up changes coming this patch. Alawi is going from a 1/6 and a 2/7 to a 1/5 and a 2/6. Wow. Okay. The art is not up to date, it seems. This tends to happen a lot of the time, where they have the image not correct for the first little bit. Our goal here is to enable greater interaction by putting Alawi more in range of removal. That's fine. It's a fine change, honestly. I really don't think Alawi needed it. I know Alawi Bard has been on top of the meta for a while, but Alawi was not the primary suspect here. It was definitely Bard, who was also getting changed. We know that. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think it's bad by any means. I don't think Alawi needed it, but I don't know. It's a fine change, I guess. I'm very fine. Tentacle Smash is going from Spawn 2... Wait. Spawn 2 to Spawn 3? It was already Spawn 3. Is this supposed to be reversed? Okay, the art for this is also out of date again. Is the art for this out of date? Yes, okay. All of the cards are out of date, is what it seems like. Spawn 3 was just really, really oppressive. It could trade into a lot. The 3 health threshold is a pretty big one to be able to hit. So is 4 health. 3 and 4 health are both big thresholds to be able to hit. So knocking it down to only being able to hit 2... I mean, this changes this from a fantastic removal card into a... Honestly, this card is kind of middling now. Because it's not just deal 2, right? You're also trading your tentacle at the same time. So, you're potentially offering more damage to your tentacle for less payoff. And that's big. That's really big, actually. Tentacle Smash is actually getting nerfed pretty hard here. Combined with the nerfs that they did to Alawi, yeah, I think it's too weak now. I think they should have done one of these or the other, but doing both, this is a huge hit to Alawi. Karma is getting +1 health, going to a 4/4 and a 5/5. We hope the jump from 3 health to 4, especially on a 5 drop, shifts how easy Karma is to remove and increases her currently low play rate. I'm not the biggest fan of Karma. Karma's kind of meh, in my opinion. However, getting a low play rate champion, more power, more buffs, that's never a bad thing, so I'm not going to complain about it. It's just going to make Karma a pretty viable card? No. Because the problem right now isn't that Karma's weak, the problem is that Control is weak. The game is very burn-focused, very aggro, most games are closed out by like turn 8 at this point. So the problem doesn't come from Karma being weak, the problem comes from Control being weak. So, I don't know, maybe the meta will shift enough with this patch where Control can actually come back properly. We're gonna have to wait and see. Okay, Gnar, change. Create Pokestick, or if you have one, reduce the cost by 1. Now going to reduce the cost by 2. Okay, small quality of life enough to bar? Small quality of life buff to Gnar, who soundly believes that poking should be free. I agree, poking should be free. This is fine. That's really not a big change. That's a very small quality of life buff. I mean, it's nice for the Gnar players, but it doesn't really do anything, does it? Yeah, there's a few very, very fringe situations where this is nice. A buff is a buff, and it's good to have, but yeah, this is ridiculous. This isn't gonna do anything. Hi, Zillion. Oh, Zillion's careful preparations? Long time coming, but finally Zillion's spell makes sense in Zillion decks. Oh shit! Oh shit! My boy! Zillion got buffed! Holy shit, careful preparations! Oh my fucking god! Oh, that's big. That's big. Oh, guys, you gotta stop buffing Zillion. I'm gonna break him. Oh, fucking hell, that's so nice. This is ridiculously nice, because double drawing Zillion before this, awful, terrible experience. Chrono Shift is a god-awful spell. It's literally counterintuitive to how you want to play Zillion most of the time, because a lot of people just wanted to, you know, let the Zillion die so you can play your next Zillion and create more time bombs in your deck. Each buff is closer to a nerf. Shush. We're taking the win. This card even fixes wanting to kill your Zillion too, right? It gives you incentive to want to keep your Zillion alive because you can predict. You can look through your deck for the time bombs, and if you find one, you can create a copy of it and then also draw your time bomb. It gives you a Zillion level up by itself if you draw the Zillion. Okay, Bard. The Wandering Caretaker. Change. Chimes don't start planting until you have 3+ mana gems. Whoa! We want to reduce the frustration of early turn Chime high sides and put Bard a little more firmly towards mid-range archetypes. Wow, okay. So this won't start planting until turn 3? Turn 4? Yeah, wow. 2 turns where you're not planting a card is massive. You're losing out on 6 times? No. Because it also plants on turn 0, right? Turn 0, turn 1 to 2. You're losing out on 9 chimes, I think. That's big. That's big. This is a big hit to Bard. And it's good, too, because a lot of the frustration with Bard comes from when you hit some of those early chimes. And it's just like, alright, well, fuck me. You just dropped the 2-mana 3/4. I can't deal with that. I guess I'll go surrender the game. And then Cosmic Binding is going to plant 6 chimes in compensation for the Bard nerf, enabling more dedicated chime checks to do their thing eventually. Okay, so they're really just trying to slow down Bard. I can respect that. That's good. This also feeds into Control, right? It's actually, this is, if any card they were going to buff, this is the one they should have done. And they do it perfectly too, right? Because this plays into Control. This plays for a late game Bard to do his thing. Eventually. He's just got to get there at that point. So yeah, okay, no. That's a really good change. Great buff. Absolutely great buff. Second Skin is going from focus to slow. Thank fuck. Everyone was talking about it. I need to change how I'm scrolling because I'm getting little sneak previews. This was a no-brainer. Literally everyone's been talking about this change forever. But in addition to that, Supercharge is going from 3 mana to 4. Oh, I can play the game again. Changing second skin from focus to slow is a perfect change that needed to be a launch. That needed to just happen at launch, and they did it well. Now we can make interesting Kaisa decks. Exactly! Because there's fucking counterplay! In addition to that, Supercharge is fantastic change. 3 to 4, this puts it more in line with a proper effect, especially for a Grant. Fucking, what is it, Bastion? Whatever it is, the Targon card that gives you Spell Shield is 4 mana and grants you +1/+1. This granted you Overwhelm, which is a really fucking good keyword, and Spell Shield, same thing, for 1 mana cheaper, with a arguably much better upside. Putting it at 4 to at least put it in parallel with Bastion, as a side grade, potentially, yeah, okay. This card is also in a much better state now. And, because you can't just bank spell mana for it, you now can't play Kaisa and Supercharge on turn 5. You have to wait till turn 6 to drop Kaisa, which is big. That slows down Kaisa considerably. Hate Spike. It's going from 2 cost to 1 cost. Holy shit! The goal here is to increase the opponent's ability to interact with Kaisa's decks, as well as taking down Kaisa's power a peg. Did something break in the formatting? I think... Yeah, okay, wait. This is for this. Man, they did not... they did not have these patch notes ready, huh? None of the cards are actually what the changed versions are. The text is currently in the wrong spot. This is great. It's okay, Riot. Small indie company. Anyway, Hate Spikes. Going from 2 costs to 1. Holy shit. All I can really say about that. This is effectively Go Hard, but instead of Drain, you're trading the 1 damage swing to your Nexus with the Drain for 1 extra damage to a unit. You do have to kill an ally. So this isn't a turn 1 play. Go Hard is still a turn 1 play, whereas Hate Spikes is something you can't ever really play on turn 1. Unless you have a 0 cost unit, like... is Spooky Spectre? I don't know. Or Pesky Spectre. Is that 0? I don't think that's 0. There's probably some way to play this on turn 1 if you really want to. Harsh Winds! Ooh! From 6 cost to 5! Ooh! 6 mana to 5 mana is an interesting threshold, because it does discontinue any Lux Ash decks or Lux... Jace. Jace and Nivea, anyone who ran Harsh Winds as a 6 mana spell for Jace or Lux or what have you, not going to happen anymore. In terms of, non-Jace situations, Harsh Winds going down to 5 is fucking huge, dude. Sorry to all the Jace players who were using Harsh Winds, all 2 of you, but this is better for the game state. And again, more control. They're pushing control a lot this patch. Control might be back? The game state might have slowed down now enough. Well, I guess we'll have to see, but this is a pretty fucking good change. Although this is technically a champion buff, that's right, this does buff Anivia. The main goal here is to give players some better tools for interacting with huge units. Oh, this was to directly counteract Bard Alawi as well. Just in case the nerfs that they did weren't enough to change it up. They did this buff to keep Bard Alawi down even harder. That's funny, actually. Alright. Blighted Ravine. A lot of people were talking about this one. When I'm summoned, heal your Nexus 4 to 2. Okay, it only heals 2 now. And deal 2 damage to everything, going to all units. Okay, so it can't hit Nexuses now. It'll only hit units. But it's still healing the same amount. That's good. That's a nice change. I don't know how much of a difference this really makes. I guess getting your Nexus pinged by this card was pretty annoying. But... not a huge change. It's good. It's good removal, I guess. It's like a mini Ruination on a stick. It's fine. I've never had a negative opinion of Blighted Ravine. I've always thought people have been overblowing it a little bit, and I'm sure that's a hot take. Thralls, countdown 8 to countdown 9. Whoa, ho, ho. Whoa. Oh, mama! Preemptive nerf to Thralls since we're nerfing some of its main predators and not looking to catapult it back to dominance. Should mitigate some of the early turn high signs that players found frustrating. Wow! That is a nerf! Holy shit. One extra countdown doesn't sound like much, but when you start considering the fact that this is every single Thrall you summon, your entire game plan gets slowed down by a turn for the entire game. Right? Your Drakhorn Inquisitors, they're not gonna pop the Thralls for another turn. You need to hit another Harbinger of Thralls if you want to get it down to what it's supposed to be. This is a big change. This is huge. This might actually pull Thralls out of the meta for a little bit. They might revert this eventually, because this is a pretty big change. Boom Baboon goes down to a 2-1 from a 3-1. That's good. This guy was pretty fucking good. Free value unit in the Flame Chompers and having 3 attack, that you pretty much needed to ping him. Also for turn 2, that's pretty damn aggressive. And then what does Station Archivist change to? Pick a spell in the top 5 cards of your deck and create an exact fleeting copy in hand. Change, then shuffle those top 5 into your deck. Oh, okay. Interesting. Wow, okay, so the 2-1 change to Boom Baboon is very good. It was such a value unit, right? You don't lose any hand state. The Flame Chompers weren't fleeting or anything, because that doesn't solve anything. Station Archivist, though, is huge change. By playing this card, you're basically saying, alright, I'm removing the consistency of what I could potentially draw later in the hopes that I hit something big now. Ravenbloom Conservatory, from countdown 10 to countdown 12. Interesting. Increasing Conservatory's countdown should mitigate early high signs. It was just too easy to consistently level it in hand. I agree with this. I gotta say, it's throwing me off that they call it high sides. Weird phrasing, but sure. Here's my interesting take. I think this is a perfect change. And you want to know why I think it's a perfect change? Because Riot themselves thought it was a perfect change. Yeah, Burning House. This was the in-progress version of this card that we actually saw in the concept for Shaped Stone. The person who did the concept for Shaped Stone, all the behind-the-scenes VFX work on it, posted that on ArtStation, and Burning House was the initial card we saw. This then, as you can read it, later became Ravenbloom Conservatory. And you also notice it was Countdown 12. The card was initially a Countdown 12 card from Riot themselves. They considered that healthy. And I think this is a good change. I think this is a good place to put it. Kadrigan the Ruined, grant an allied challenger and +1/+1. Grant an allied champion or dragon challenger. I think this is reversed. You can now use this in any deck. I mean, hell, you could use this in a Elites deck if you really wanted to. I don't know why you would, but you can. This is a good change. This makes Kadrigan, feel viable. Doesn't ruin the card, doesn't ruin any archetypes. Just makes him an actually viable card. And his 6-mana 6/6 is already a good stat line, so giving another card in play, challenger, and +1/+1, that's a pretty decent effect. Kadrigan might actually be meta after this, because that's a pretty good card. Alright, Mark of the Storm. Grant an enemy Mark of the Storm. If they already have it, remove the mark to stun and deal 2. Now going up to 3. Interesting. This Mark of the Storm change is weird. I don't like this reasoning to make Bandle City a recall region. Bandle City's not a recall region. This is also very specifically a buff to Kennen. This doesn't affect any other recall units. They do say subsequent changes, so I'm guessing there's more down the line. It's a buff. A buff is a buff. And the 3 health threshold is a pretty important one to hit. So, yeah, it's a buff. It's a buff to cannon, but the reasoning behind it to make Bandle City more attractive as a recall region is weird. I don't like that. That's a weird reason. Starbone. If you behold the Celestial, create the Messenger in your deck and grant Celestial allies +1/+1. If you behold the Messenger, grant Celestial allies everywhere +1/+1. So, oh, whoa, hold on. Okay, whoa. Hello, my brain finally processed that sentence. Jesus Christ. Removing the narrowness from this card in order to make it a build-around for Celestial decks. Yeah, build-around is right. Holy shit. Sorry, it took me a second to realize the implications of this changes. This is fucking massive. Holy shit. Whoa. Okay, so if you behold this is going from needing to behold one specific card, the Messenger, who you have to hit off of an invoke, to needing to just behold any Celestial card, meaning you have to invoke and then just have this card available to be played. And if you do that, it creates a card in your deck that draws and grants Celestial allies everywhere +1/+1. That is fucking huge. That is a huge change for Celestials. This went from being one of the worst cards in the game to being an auto-include in any Celestial deck, I guarantee you. Holy shit. Bloody Business. An ally with 5+ power strikes an enemy, going to Reputation I cost 2. An ally with 5+ power strikes an enemy. Whoa. Whoa. You should get more for jumping through Reputation's hoop. And hopefully this, coupled with some of our more recent changes, will make this deck genuinely exciting to play. They straight up admitted that Reputation is a boring deck. How fun. Jesus Christ. 2-mana strike. That's a big change. That's a beefy change. You can play fucking Otacon, Bringer of Ruin, or whatever his title is, and have a Bloody Business to play on the same turn. That's ridiculous. Holy shit. Alright, that's a big buff to Reputation. 2 big changes back to back right here. Holy shit, that's big. Oh, and Star Shaping getting reverted. Another revert, hopefully enabling some slower decks than the current meta has allowed. Whoa! Alright, they're pushing for Control to make a comeback. I am not opposed to this concept of a return to Control. This is big. Star Shaping going back to 5. That's a big change for Targon to get. That heal 1 made so much difference. It really did. It cannot be understated how much a difference between the heal 4 and heal 5 is. It doesn't feel like it should be that big a difference. It really doesn't. But it's a massive change. Thunderfist going from 2/3 to 3/3. Masa Crashing Thunder going from 5/4 to 5/5. Risu's Silent Storm going from 1/1 to 1/3. And Impact going to when I'm summoned, grant me Impact 3 times. I mean, the cards aren't great. It's fine. These are fine changes. It's not game-breaking. I really think Risu is a weird change. I guess it gives you more time to recall it. Like, you can survive a Mystic Shock or something and then get the recall off. But, the biggest change here is to Stormcloud, with the getting Impact 3 times. This is effectively a 10-3, which is a nasty stat line for a 5 cost. Dusk Petal Dusk. The next unit you play with Nightfall you play this round costs 1 less to the next card you play this round. Oh, holy shit, wait. Reducing the cost of whatever card you play next by 1? That's kinda nice. You don't even have to play a Nightfall card anymore. You can play... The fact that it's also not a Nightfall unit, right? So you're not just using this on your Dianas, your Nocturnes, right? You can use this on the Vile Feast clone, or the Mask Mother card that's randomly Nightfall. Play it outside of Nightfall like Nami. You genuinely can. Oh shit, you genuinely can. Wait, this is such a buff to that card. The 2/1 that generates this card, this is a big buff, right? You can play this in like Zoe decks and shit now. Honestly, this is a massive. They're calling this a quality of life buff, but this 2/1 is about to be really fucking good. This is like a really big buff. They're really underselling this buff. This is huge. I'm genuinely gonna maybe run this in like Asol decks. Because you can really cheat some stuff out with this. Man, okay. I'm interested. Yeah, this 2/1's gonna be everywhere. Man, oh man, oh man. Okay, that is a solid little buff. And they're really underselling it. I don't think they know the change they just made. That's big. Stagehand is going from a 4/4 to a 4/2. In this patch, we are moving a lot of cards in and out of different tiers of interactability. Ephemeral makes the stagehand enough of a poor target for interaction that it has no need for 4 health. Editor's note, Jin is the only one allowed to be perfect. 4/4 meant you kind of just couldn't do anything, right? Pretty much what would happen is on turn 2, or on any turn where you have the stagehand, your opponent makes their big play. They might be angling aggressively. You can do this on an offensive turn or a defensive turn. If you do it on an offensive turn, you play stagehand, you stun an important blocker, and now you have a 4/4 that your opponent has to figure out how they're going to block and what unit they're going to sacrifice for it. Or on a defensive turn, you stun the most important attacking unit, and now your opponent doesn't want to attack because they're trading into a unit that they cannot deal with. Now, this is a more interactable unit. If your opponent has 2 Vile Feasts, if your opponent has a Mystic Shot, they can get rid of Stagehand, and that's good. You can actually somewhat remove Stagehand. So, yes, I think this is a great change. Defiant Dance, going to 5 cost instead of 4. Small hit aimed at a Zero Aurelia in order to keep them from dominating the meta after the dust clears on this patch. They're already in a pretty good spot, so I'm glad they're doing a preemptive nerf to Zero Aurelia. And yeah, Defiant Dance is an awful card. I hate fighting this card. So, good change. I like this. Keeps a Zero Aurelia in check. Traveler goes to 4/4. Upping the power here should make her... Wait. Where did I read her? This. Okay. Upping the power here should make this a more attractive evoke choice. I agree. Making this a 4/4 instead of a 3/4 off of Celestials, which are kind of cracked cards anyway. It's a good change. I like it. Squeaker going from 1/2 to 2/2. Yeah, okay. This is no brainer. Rumors that Squeaker has blackmail portfolio for every designer are completely and totally unfounded. Okay. Alright. Bandle City Mayor, going from 2/2 to 2/3. Testing this initially brought a lot of apprehension to the team, but afterwards we felt that the meta is in a position to handle an enhanced Mayor. Alright. Sure. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Mayor's fine, because they also changed it so that each round it's the first one you play, rather than every multi-region follower being 1 less mana. So he only can proc once per turn. Giving him a little extra survivability is fine. Ancient Hourglass goes from 2 mana to 3. Ooh! Shurima was not intended to be the premier unit protection region. It was time for a change. Yeah, shut up, guys. Yeah, good change. Neverglade going from 2/4 to 2/5. Nice little +1 health. Potentially some indirect help for Husks, as much needed bump for Collector in general. Yeah, that's a really nice buff for Neverglade. Super good change here. Love that. Winding Light has removed the Overwhelm. We want to put more emphasis on Winding Light as a go-wide finisher, and less on its own stats and evasion. Huh. Alright. That's a big change. But a good one, I think. Now you gotta find different ways to give everything overwhelmed. And that's really hard to do. So, yeah, alright. Good change with the Winding Light here. I like that a lot. Papercraft Dragon has gone from 5 to 6 cost. Want to tap the brakes on Papercraft 1-turn kills with this. Yeah, solid change. Can't argue with that one. I would have maybe preferred a stat change, like making this a 2-1 or a 1-2, honestly. Just to nerf the damage it can do, and that would, you know, push the brakes a bit harder. But making it 6 costs instead of 5, that's fine. That's a fine change. Battle Bonds is going from 4 costs to 5 costs and going from slow to burst. Holy shit! Whoa! Holy shit! Reworked in order to provide a more potent tool for wider Targon strategies. Holy shit! Yeah! Yeah, I'd call that an effective change. Any deck that really wants to build up stats on multiple units, that's really big. And this is great for protecting 2 units at the same time, too, right? Damn. Okay, Battle Bonds. Battle Bonds got buffed. Targon maybe got a little too much buff. We'll see. Well, they got the huge buff with Starbone becoming a really good card for Celestial decks. The revert on Star Shaping, and now this Battle Bonds change. Yeah, alright. Targon maybe did get a little much, but we'll have to see. And hey, you know what? They're the worst performing region in the game right now, so I don't really mind them getting a little bit of love. Banami goes from 4-3 to 4-4, trying to open up some more playable options for Vandal City. Sure, I guess. I have nothing to say about this. Truly nothing to say. Scar Maiden Reader goes from a 4-5 to a 4-6. Ooh! Bump to bring her more in line with current unit stat lines. That is a nice little change. 6 health on an inherent regen? That is nice. Twisted Catalyzer goes from 2-2 to a 3-2. Reverting Catalyzer would give Darkness Stands a better chance in what has become a very difficult minute for them. Darkness loves pain. Okay, so we now have confirmation from Riot themselves that Darkness players are masochists. This is good to know. Good information, guys. Nice change to Darkness. I don't really have anything more to say about that. Nice little change for Darkness. It'll make them better. And personalization. Ooh! Shiny board, card back, and icon that will be awarded to the winners of the upcoming seasonal tournaments. Damn, you get this shit for winning? I might gotta go and play some seasonal tournaments now. Alright, and then miscellaneous. The next expansion is being revealed via live stream. Tune in to Twitch tomorrow. Be doing that tomorrow. Check out some amazing artwork submitted to the Star Guardian Community Art Gallery. Very good. I loved looking through that. Very good. Very, very good art gallery there. Alright. And now, the hidden nerfs. For those of you who don't know, there have been many hidden buffs and nerfs in the bug fixes. So you always got to look at the bug fixes now. So let's look at this. Evelynn and Kaisa AI decks now contain copies of Evelynn. Were they not in there? Did you patch in a deck for Evelynn Kaisa without the fucking Evelynn? That's fucking hilarious. It seems like Control is back on the menu. They really did a lot to make Control a viable card again. Big fan of that. Alright. Interesting expansion. I'm curious to see how this plays out. We got the expansion coming tomorrow, and I'll be reacting to that. But for about 2 weeks, we're going to have a very interesting time